Thanks for coming, y'all. I am Nina Biffinger. I didn't really even introduce myself earlier. I am a residential real estate expert with Location RE, and I am so happy that y'all have joined us for this local spotlight session. I really believe now more than ever, we need to come together as a community and bring awareness, support, and celebrate small businesses and nonprofits. And I don't know, fantastic way to start the celebration for those small businesses by raising a glass and toasting them, which is why I am super excited to have the passionate small business owner, Marcie Everett, with us today to spotlight Scout and Cellar wines. Now, I have known Marcie for more than 10 years. And I will say with her mad social skills that she's actually the person who really showed me what the power of social media can do for a business. And then I'm just going to take a quick moment to read her bio for y'all that she so graciously offered for me. An entrepreneur, lover of life, family, and friends, which I would say amen to all of those. Marcie is an Arizona native and moved to Colorado to finish college, never turning back. 20 plus years later, Marcie loves the Denver suburban life, entrepreneurship, and the constant pursuit of rising up. Founder of M. Everett Marketing Services and Uniquely Me Beachbody Coaching, Marcie resides in Lone Tree, Colorado with her husband of 9 years and young daughter. And with her most recent venture, Marcie is thrilled to share her love of wine with friends, old and new, through virtual tastings like this, live private events, and her Sip, Laugh, and Love Facebook community. So I am going to turn it over.
Hey there. Thank you so much for having me. Can you hear me?
We can hear you. So is there anything else that you want to share about yourself before you dive into Scout and Cellar?
So first of all, cheers. Thanks for having me. I so appreciate it. Cheers. So part of why I want to get started with kind of my why as to why I'm here today and why I'm going down this path. You know, since becoming a mother in 2013, you know, my life, my focus, my priorities, they have all shifted, right? Health and nutrition are vital to both myself and my family. And quite frankly, you know, I want to live a long life. And as I'm getting older, I'm going to have to kick it around with my 6-year-old in 20 years or so and still be vibrant and alive and doing well. So taking care of myself is just so much important. And I want to live a long, healthy life. So in addition to health, and I'm sure that's, and loving people, that's why Nina and I connect so well, is I like to have a lot of fun. So with a long history in the restaurant business, I'm kind of turning back to my roots a little bit and joining the wine industry to be able to intermingle some good wine, some fun, and friends along the way, adding some levity and social into it. So glad to be here. So thank you so much. First of all, Nina, let's get you started. Have you poured your glass of wine?
Yes, ma'am. I sure have. Thank you.
Okay.
And Finn has one as well. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Good. Well, first of all, I am so hopeful that everyone has a glass of wine on this call, because who does a Thirsty Thursday without a glass of wine, right? We are starting off with a 2018, the Resident Pinot Gris. So to go ahead, take a sip, have a quick little tasting, and then we'll move on. So this is fruity and crisp is how they describe it.
Yes.
Would you say that's the same?
I would absolutely say. And just for a moment, can we back up, Marce, and explain a little bit to everybody about with your love and passion for finding new ventures and bringing people together and collaboration. What is it about Scout and Cellar that brought you to them?
Yes, I haven't even gotten that far. I just thought I wanted to make sure that you got started on your wine, right? Because you can't go.
You're a great host.
Here. Yes, priorities. So Scout and Cellar, one of the things that I really love about it as I was digging in deeper is their approach to it. It is clean crafted wine. And what does that mean? Well, for you and me, basically that means, you know, I could drink a glass of wine and not have that headache in the morning, or potentially have that extra sugar or that weight gain. So that's kind of the end all that's so important for you and I. But basically it means not adding pesticides, added sugar, or all the gunk that usually goes in a normal glass of wine. So they don't put any synthetic pesticides. They vinify the wine and the grapes with no chemical additives, and they don't add any sugar or sweetener. So you're just getting that natural grape without a lot of the junk that is in most of the wine. Part of the history of Scout and Cellar is the founder, Sarah Shadnick's, back in 2014. She had traveled and visited a friend, and she happened to have a bottle of wine that the next morning she didn't have a headache. And she was like, wow, what was in that? And that was really great wine. So she then went back home and had her normal wine. And then lo and behold, it was, she had the same headache. So she went into the wine industry and started pursuing and started seeking a lot of questions and answers as to, you know, what's in there, talking to winemakers as to what's being put in, the pesticides, homeopathic doctors, vendors, and just seeing what it's all about. And then went on to create her own wine using her experiences and creating this cream crafted business. So just really appreciative of that, along with their core value of authenticity. So that is just, you know, just so important these days, as I think, as we look at clean versions of wine and just how we want to live life, right? So the sulfites are low, least amount possible. I know a lot of questions get asked about that, about sulfates, but it's the least amount of sulfates needed, and those are technically a natural pesticide. And there's less than 3% of the vineyards that are out there that actually meet the clean crafted standards. So pretty cool about that.
I think it's awesome. I mean, that's the biggest thing I was drawn to when you were telling me about it, because I mean, who really wants a headache the next day? And with all the sitting at home during COVID, you know, we might not be exercising, and so less sugar. If we're going to have some wine, it's nice. I love it.
Right, right. Couple of other pieces too about the wine that I thought is really appropriate or goes along line with this is the bottles are lighter glass so that they're lessening their carbon footprint. And then the corks, they're 100% recycled, they're made from 100% recycled material. So these corks are also recyclable too, which just lessens the carbon footprint altogether. So.
I have a question for you, Marcie. I don't know if it's just me, but I cannot sleep when I've drank wine.
I get that.
Do you notice any difference with Scout and Cellar? I'm not even sure what it is about. I'm not even sure why that is, but I just cannot sleep, or I can fall asleep and then I wake up and I'm just raring to go at 2 a.m. Do you notice any difference with sleep?
You know, I have to be honest, I don't know if I've tested it out yet, you know, meaning drank enough to really see if that makes any sense.
Right.
I have. I drink a lot of wine, especially these days in COVID. And I will say, and a big piece of it is because of the sugar. The sugar is what causes you to wake up, because the spike and the lowering while you're sleeping. And so with this wine, it absolutely affects that in a better way, to where it's not as much sugar in the wine. So it's not as much sugar that affects your sleep. It's good.
Okay, cool.
I need to read up on that. That's a really great question. So that's great, because I'm sure the sugar has so much to do with it. This Pinot Gris that we're drinking right now, Nina and Ben, and I wish everyone else there, but it has 0.6 residual sugar on it per gram per liter. And the alcohol percentage is 14%. So you're still experiencing that without the added stuff that you just don't need.
I was just going to say, I was sorry to cut you off earlier, because I do want you to be able to talk about how great it is. I just wanted you to say how great Scout and Cellar was as well. But I agree with you. It does taste lovely. And Ben is having some too. If Ben wants to shout out and say what his thoughts are on the wine.
Well, light and crisp is what I like, especially in the summer. So it's smooth. It doesn't really have any aftertaste. So lovely.
That's one of the big things I noticed. It doesn't like linger on your mouth too much or too long. You know, when you get that bad red breath. You know what I mean, when you drink too much, when it's too cold. But yes, so it definitely is crisp. So some of the things to talk about, this is actually made in Williamette Valley, Oregon, is where this one is. And kind of a fun fact here is that the first commercial planting of Pinot Gris in the United States took place in 1965 in Oregon by wine pioneer David Lett. So this is a great example of some local Oregon wine that's nice, light, crispy, and perfect for summer. White wines are super hot. So in addition to a nice selection of white wines, and if I would have thought ahead, today is actually National Rosé Day. So we should have had rosé, but Scout and Cellar has a very lovely selection of sparkling wines, rosés, whites, reds, of course, also wine spritzers and cans that are very easy to take camping. A variety of selection to meet any sort of needs. Bottles start at 17. The typical is between 20 and 25, so just a little bit more than your average bottle. And then they go on up to, of course, if you have someone that's a really wine connoisseur, they rise from there to fit whatever palate someone has or pocketbook, right? Some of the nice features that they have too is wine club. So they do have a wine club where you can get delivered as little as 4 bottles, either monthly, bi-monthly, or quarterly, and they give you fun surprises in there too. So that is also kind of a fun thing. And then of course, discounts. So if you were to buy 6 bottles, you get a 5% discount, or 12 bottles, you get a 10% discount. So the bulk can play in there. And obviously if you're a local too, I'm able to help you with any of that and help with delivery and getting that shipped to my house and then delivered to you too. One of the things
surprises. I love that. You get surprises. I love it. It's awesome.
They do. I haven't received one yet. I'm still pretty early on that I haven't gotten one, but I'm excited. They also delivered a fabulous Sauvignon Blanc that I just cannot wait to try. So I'm pretty excited about that. So,
can I say on that, is it a different one that you shared with us the other day, Marce? So I'm just going to give this other little shout out for y'all. And I don't know if y'all are familiar with what happens. Like some people who eat cilantro, it tastes like soap in their mouth, which is like depressing. I cry for those people. It's really sad. And so some people also, similarly, when they drink Sauvignon Blancs, the mineral in the Sauv Blanc, it makes it taste like Band-Aids. And I am one of those, which makes me cry because I loved Sauvignon Blancs and I haven't been able to drink them. And Marcie shared hers with me recently from Scout and Cellar, and I didn't taste the Band-Aids. It was amazing. So for those of you who maybe have that or know anyone else that struggles with that, I recommend it.
That's good. I couldn't imagine having a glass of wine taste like Band-Aids. I mean, have you eaten a Band-Aid to know what that tastes like?
Yeah, it's another story another day.
Oh my gosh. So anyway, so that is, let's see if we covered everything. So one kind of fun story too that I thought I would share, since we have a little bit of time, is the founder, she told a story about how she went to go visit a vineyard and she saw this white stuff on the vines and all this white stuff everywhere. And she was asking the vineyard grower, like, what is that? Because that's not something that you would typically see. And it ended up being a whole bunch of small snails all throughout the vineyard because the ground was just so healthy. And the little snails were growing just independently because there was no pesticides and everything was so natural, which is just really cool to think about, that they're going to that great lengths, that the founder is seeking out the vineyards, meeting with the farmers, making sure that it's meeting the standards. And of course those snails are not in the wine, don't be worried, those get flushed out, but that just goes to show you that there's natural elements that are feeding that ground and feeding these grapes that are then enjoyable and pressed and just made so deliciously. So, fun story. So real quick, do we want to pour the next bottle, Nina? Or the next little
Yes.
Okay.
Can I real quick?
And I want to just show, because I know we're still, yes, thank you. We're still in, and the screen doesn't show it, kind of just shows it turning, Nina. There you go. These are little bottles that we can do too. So if any virtual tastings, if you know you're needing distance at this point, or patio tastings, we can do that at this point as well. If you host a tasting, there is a generous hostess gift too, where you get a nice discount off the wine. But we can, you know, pass these little samples on and have tastings with your friends or whoever you feel comfortable spreading germs with. So the bottle that we're going to do next is the Cab. It's the Dove Hunt Dog. So Neen, get yours poured, girl. And Ben?
Yes, ma'am. I don't, could y'all see that? It's super cute little bottle that Marcie delivered for me to be able to have this with a little label and information. So what a fun idea.
Your screen kind of cuts it out a little bit.
Can't see it.
Back?
Hey, Ben,
Oh,
can you hold yours that? Oh, good man.
is it because I'm on the crazy background screen? Is that
Yeah.
why? Okay.
Yes, there you go. There you go, Benny. So just little glass bottles that we're able to, you know, pick out a nice selection for any sort of virtual tasting or virtual happy hour, especially if you're here local. So cheers to this one.
Cheers.
This is a Cabernet. It's biodynamic, it's vegan. So most of the wines are vegan and organic. So that's another point that I didn't mention. This has
Did they normally put animals in other wines?
I have no idea. That's a great question. But maybe it's an additive. That's actually a great question.
Right, because they put beef in Altoids, so maybe they put something in wine. I don't know.
It could be for healthy. So this one is going to be a little bit, or not a little bit, earthy and bold, especially compared to that white. Going to have lingering notes of black cherry, plum, and blackberry, balanced on a bold, full-bodied frame, so for a lingering finish. So this is one of their most popular reds. I first tried this red in a gorgeous gift set that I got, which introduced me to Scout and Cellar. Here, I just wanted to show you this really quick because I have the Father's Day one here. I forgot the card. It looks like. So this is the lovely gift sets and what they look like. They come with a nice, and it says celebrate the everything. And then it has 2 gorgeous bottles of wine and then a note in there. My note I must have left inside, but it has a nice celebrate the everything wine card with it that talks about the wines in general, and it's just delivered so lovely. I got this as a gift and I was so impressed. This is the Father's Day one, and any of the gift sets like this, they are $49 for the 2 bottles, and then the shipping is free. So the shipping is included on any of the gift sets and also any of the wine club items. So something just to kind of keep in mind, especially as we're leaning into Father's Day that's coming up, and any other festive ways that you might want to honor a loved one.
Miss Mars, as you're going to the next thing, really quickly, Cheryl jumped on a little late and missed what you had said, or sorry, Suzanne? No, Cheryl asked, sorry. Who, if you are offering a wine club, and so I think possibly she missed your mentioning of it. So if you could repeat about the wine club.
Yes. So wine club, yes, we have a wine club. It comes as little as 4 bottles and as big as, I'm sure you can get it because you can order multiple, how much you're drinking. And you can have it delivered monthly, bi-monthly, or quarterly. So it's a lovely gift even to be able to get a nice box of clean crafted wine and have it done on a quarterly basis to have a treat come every quarter, especially as we're all doing more online shipping these days. So one other thing too that I just wanted to mention is they do have the do the right thing guarantee. So basically, you know, if something's not right, if you don't like your wine, they're gonna make it right. They'll reship a new bottle. They'll take care of you. So I think that's so important. I know we're so often scared of like maybe trying a bottle of wine that we've never tried before or not able to taste live for some of our guests that are on the phone tonight. And, you know, just knowing that you can order that, and if you don't like it for some reason, that you're able to, they'll take care of you. They're going to do the right thing. They're going to exchange it or make sure that all is good, as will I as well.
I think that is such a huge piece of it. It's connecting to your people and really standing behind your product and knowing what's important to them. And I mean, who wants to buy from a place again if the wine wasn't great and they didn't stand behind it? So I think that's awesome.
Yes. So very good. Let's see, Nina, did you let's see.
So Marcie, how can somebody purchase a bottle of wine if they would like to try one of the ones that you've been talking about?
Yes, thank you. You can contact me personally via email or phone. You can also go to scoutandcellar.com/uniquelyme. You can also join my Facebook community, Sip Laugh Love, or just connect with me on Facebook in general because I love to know new people and get to know you there. So those are a couple of ways. I can certainly follow up this with my actual email address and phone number after this call and your follow-up notes, so everyone has that as well.
Yeah, you bet. We thank you for jumping on, y'all, and registering. So we'll be able to send a follow-up with all of Marcie's details so you can easily get your wine on.
Thank you. That's one of the lovely things, that I love so much about Nina. And she didn't even really touch on how we met, so I have to digress and go there because I think it's pertinent to the brand. But we met through a dinner group that we met once a week. And this was back in the single day, back when we were fancy free. And, community is just so important. I think these days, now than ever, we've really learned that community is just so important because we haven't been able to be close to each other and we've had all this time of social distancing. So to be able to connect here on Zoom, I thank you. But however we connect, it just goes to show you the power of people and just the friendships and relationships. And that's something I just so appreciate about you, Nina, is just your power to connect and how you always bring that first and foremost to your community. So thank you. And thank you for connecting to these lovely ladies. And Ben, love you, Ben.
You're welcome. Okay, Mars, so that we can wrap this up and people can either start driving home or really go into dinner or drinking more wine, let us know, is there something that you're offering for anybody right now that are really how they can, besides connecting, just emailing you for being on here?
So for our local guests, I'm happy to roll up, any of the bottles that are purchased from today or from any of the contacts here to make sure that everyone can get that 10% discount that's normally rolled out for the 12 bottles. I'll be happy to accumulate all of that and make sure that everyone can get that discount together by combining orders and making sure everyone benefits and can give it a shot.
Fantastic. That's great. I also think that this is such an awesome idea to be able to do if you have clients or if you want to host. I mean, right now we're still working on virtual get-togethers with friends and family. And so this is really an opportunity to do that. Everybody can order a bottle of wine because they don't have to go to the store and it will come to them and then they can have their little wine party on Zoom like this. And there's just so many creative ways. So once you reach out to Marce, believe me, she is so good at coming up with creative ideas that she will help you figure out how to make this something that you can just enjoy at your house in your backyard or really with friends and family, even if you can't be there with them. So I think it's fantastic.
Yeah, super creative. Thank you so much, Nina, for having me.
Yeah, I really appreciate, Marce, you coming in and sharing and bringing us this wine to try and educating us. I learned a ton. So thank you for that. And I want to thank all of you for jumping on. I know time is valuable and I really appreciate you being here and also supporting a small business owner and really just being a part of that community because we really need to join and be together. I will let you know that there are going to be more of these. I'm doing these twice a month. And so the next one is going to be featuring CASA. So Andrea, who was on here a little bit ago and had to go, we are going to be featuring CASA. And I just want y'all to know this is such an amazing organization that helps foster children in the system. And right now there is such a need for all of us to really be aware of kids that are in abuse situations because they're not going to school. And so we're going to host them and they're going to talk to us about how we can really be aware as a community and help those children. And that's going to be on June 23rd at 12:15. So it'll be in the afternoon during lunchtime. And then the next one is going to be Saunders Massage. She's the woman who has given me massages for the last, 20 years, I think we calculated, and she's amazing. And she's going to be talking about really also expanding business for people that are looking for potentially a new job, a new career, as several people are in this world right now. So that'll be on July 8th at 12:30. And then another nonprofit will be featured in the next session, and that's Homemade Colorado. And they help the homeless as well as young mothers that are single really maneuvering life right now. And that will be on July 22nd at 12 p.m. So in the meantime, if you have any questions about Marcie's products or anything about real estate, please reach out to either one of us. We love to help people, and we have a lot of resources to share. And again, I really appreciate y'all being on here and taking the time. Anybody have any questions before we log off? Okay.
I would just say that the red we just drank was spicy. It was peppery, but it wasn't very jammy. It wasn't overwhelming. It didn't feel like you were drinking, syrup. It's a really nice wine.
Thanks, Ben, for saying that. Yeah, I didn't even comment. I was just drinking it and didn't comment. So thank you for bringing that home and telling us how great the wine is. That's fantastic. All right, well, cheers, y'all. Have a great weekend, and I hope to see you on the next one.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.